As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night. Werewolves that howl to the moon. Dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello, one and all. Welcome back to another fantastic, stupendous, wonderful episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, the show where we talk about monsters, talk about the lore, talk about the media representation, and rate on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you sitting down on your computer to play your least favorite game, but you've sunk so many hours and so much money into it that this time it's the sunk cost fallacy, and you're just craving that last crumb of serotonin you had in 2016 when it was really, really fun. Whether or not you should be having sex with those monsters. I am your colorful creature consultant cleric, and with me as always is our tentacle titty sucker themselves, our tenacious troubadour of tentacle analysts, Joe.
I was worried that you were just gonna stop including technical analysts like from then on, because it's since season 2 it feels like it's just been titty sucker.
Yeah, it has. It's just been titty sucker for a while. I forgot to include your official title of technical analyst, but to be honest, you haven't really been technically analyst. I didn't get 4
PhDs to be neglected.
You have 4 what are your PhDs on?
4 PhDs, technical analyst.
Okay, that's one.
Technically analyzing.
Okay, so we'll count that as the second one. Where that's the same name.
Technological anus.
I don't know they did PhDs for that.
Yeah. And tertiary anal.
What school accredited you?
It's when you have you don't have a primary partner, you don't have a secondary partner, you actually a tertiary partner. Polyamorous relationship.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you exclusively do anal, and you got your PhD for that. And
okay.
I did beg and bribe for 4 different PhD programs to give me honorary degrees for all of these degrees. So.
All right. Well, Joe, what are we talking about today?
You know, I do know what we're talking about. I do know what we're talking about today.
Yeah, and you're not excited about it. I am.
And I'm not excited about it because I've spent at least 10 years being told to never get into this thing. It is an inherent thing to my culture, and also to the guest culture. By the way, we have a guest. And you know, because of this episode, I fear that it may just be time either to try or to talk about it. Like, I had to look into lore today that I did not want to.
That's a mistake on your end. And this is a recent addiction of mine. I got into this in the past 6 months, I think 7 months at this point. And I think about it now almost daily, and it's a problem.
And it's crack cocaine.
That's right. But it's the internet's crack cocaine, which is League of Legends. And I know it's too big of a game. There's over 148 champions or something that we can't talk about it just on our own. We can't. It's a well we're going to tap into several times. So right now, I'm going to pull up my computer. I'm going to type in champ select here, and I'm going to pick the best champion or the best guest we know that can talk about everything League of Legends, because they'll fill us in on all the lore, because they've been playing longer than us. And that person is...
Hello, I'm Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. I am here because, unfortunately, I've been playing League of Legends for over a decade.
A mistake on ends.
Yeah.
Crack cocaine would be healthier.
Yeah.
So as you know, I've picked a champion, Joe's picked a champion, and Mimi's picked a champion, and we're going to rate them all on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you should be fucking this League of Legends champion. So, Mimi, what draws you to League of Legends? Let's just get into that.
Here's the thing. I I am a competitive bitch. I will play. I play games that I hate all the time just so I can win. I play Magic the Gathering. I used to play Halo online. Like I play
with a mic. Oh, brutal.
No mic. I didn't have a mic. I was not that much of a masochist, but yeah, I play absolutely miserable games just so I can beat up strangers on the internet.
And honestly, that's what else? That's the American dream right there. And I'm proud to be an American.
And we, despite us doing this League of Legends episodes, fuck Riot Games, and
true.
Despite all of the very fancy and flowery shit with Valorant and League of Legends, is a thing that really dragged me in to like any remote type of lore. The only reason I know who Pyke is because of Jackson Wang doing League of Legends Champions or whatever the fuck it's called, with all like the celebrities that like sing and like do music videos for League of Legends. That's They make great music videos. Everything tertiary from tertiary. I don't know. You got that fucking word in my head. Everything tertiary from League of Legends is great. Like the music videos, the other things, like their new fighting game. Everything tertiary is great. Consider all the music is fucking fantastic. Despite the fact it is not a music company, it is a video game company that relies on artists and animators that they do not secure stability for, which is just so fun for everyone.
Yeah. Just stepping back real quick, Riot Games, terrible company. Just always has been, continues to be. Maybe someday somebody will redact the CEO and then things will get better.
Yeah, but the sexy, hot monsters that we will be talking about today.
I will say, what is one of the more interesting parts of League of Legends is the lore that they've built around it. They have lore for their skins, they have lore for their chromas, they have lore for every single champion, how it's all interconnected in this world. And if you've seen Arcane season 1, season 2 coming out soon, that shit's gas.
It's true. It is gas.
So
we're not talking about Arcane.
We are not. No, the champions we've picked today are from the Arcane universe, or from Zon, or it's Zon, right?
Zon and Piltover. We are not fucking with those bitches. They are boring. They are normies.
Yeah.
Although, maybe this is a spoiler. The shortlist, Warwick was on the shortlist, but that's the only one.
Yeah, but he's a season 2 character. So when we do another League of Legends episode, we'll talk about him.
We're going to do another one?
Yes, we are. There's 148 champions.
God damn.
I think it's higher than that now.
It's for sure
gone
higher
up
than that.
But
all right. Well, why don't I start so that I don't have to sit on my hands for an entire episode and just get it over with? Twiddling my little clit, and
on
and,
call?
and I'll just go.
All right, twiddle your click away.
Okay, I will be talking about, unsurprisingly, Rek'sai. Sometimes the perfect woman can carve mountains with her mandibles, the size of construction equipment. Claiming rock and pebble with her long tongue, she uses it to sniff out her prey. When she's not laying waste to empires from underground, she has thousands of hungry, screaming children to tend to. Once you're in her range, Rek'sai will be your end. Bait, butcher, burrow.
Rek'sai is such an interesting choice.
I don't think it's that particularly interesting considering it's coming from me.
Well, I mean, it's just she's a humongous bug underground burrowing monster.
She's a single mom who works more than 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops. She's Reba.
Yeah. Like truly,
Rek'sai is voice acted by Reba, so I don't know what the problem is.
She's in the game, Reba. It's Reba-sai, actually. Everyone's just been mispronouncing it.
Yeah.
I do see the appeal of like big scary monster who can if you're into that, swallow you whole. You know, it's not my thing. I understand there are people who are into that.
Yeah, I mean, so just reading through her lore and everything, and also Mimi Yu is the expert. I read through her story, and it was just very much like a beautiful. It's a beautiful concept to me that anyone can read through, like a horrific, like fairy tale almost, and not even being a fairy tale so much as just like actual history, and just being like, I want to know how her day is, you know? Like, I wonder what her favorite iced coffee flavor is or something. It's not even just that it's funny to me, just so much as like, there's just something so like wonderfully visceral about the story, as well as like her biography and her being a part of the collection of champions that are void spawn or void related or whatever. Like Kaisa in particular has some like kind of like a recollection of Rek'sai as a void creature in a very haunted way, which is also very fun.
Yeah.
The thing with the champions having like kind of like knowing about each other through history is fascinating.
Yeah, there's an animatic, I think, where she and Talia fight Rek'sai in a giant temple.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. So, Mimi, what is the void for those people who don't know?
So, just as a little preamble, the League of Legends universe is called Runeterra, and Runeterra is like a very like kitchen sink setting. It's just like throw it all in, and some stuff is like legacy content that they've like tried to update to make fit, and some stuff is new. But the Void has been there since the beginning. The Void is basically like, it's a very like Lovecraftian like alternate universe that like exists parallel to the main world, where, you know, you have these like monstrous insectoid creatures who are just want to devour. That's kind of the unifying theme of void creatures, is some kind of like hunger or some kind of gluttony. And so Rek'sai is one of the more straightforward ones. She's got to feed her kids.
And sometimes that's all you need. You need a mom who works 2 jobs, who loves kids, and never stops. Who's just like, hey, listen, I don't want to destroy your city, but I got kids to feed. This is what pays the bills, and honestly, it's what I got to do. And I do find a little enjoyment.
You gotta argue she's not money very forward whatsoever. It's just sustenance, and we love a hungry woman.
Yeah,
she's just hungry. She just want to eat. You know what? That's fine. And so I imagine Rek'sai, she's just a big MILF.
Yeah. That's pretty much why I chose her, honestly.
Yeah.
She's a 2-story tall MILF.
Yeah. So let's get into some logistics here. 1, she's 2 stories tall, so sex should be awkward. 2, she is bent on eating everything and devouring everything in her path. So conversation is very low there. There's no conversation.
Oh yeah, she does not speak English. There is a language barrier, so unless you speak Screaming Void Monster, you're not really going to be able to talk. Now, I do think there are ways around a language barrier. There are other ways to communicate, but you're not. Yeah, she doesn't speak English.
I can be the stepdad to step up and learn Void Scream.
Okay. And you're gonna stepdad her hundreds of thousands of children.
Yes.
Just so you can suck on Rek'sai's titty.
She doesn't even have any, but I'll pretend that she does.
You want to give her a little kiss in her big ass mouth?
Yeah. In her lipless mouth, all teeth.
All teeth?
All mandibles, dude.
Now, here's the thing. This is just me speculating because we don't know for sure. Because, you know, Rek'sai, she does have like a very hard carapace. She is, very solid. But there are some, there are some insects that like will secrete like a milky substance. So like,
yeah.
And I just think like if you had to feed thousands of children, that is a very efficient way to do it.
And then you can get a little bit of sucking on that. You get a little.
Yeah, exactly.
So where there's a will, there's a way.
Let's make it less of a way. Okay.
No. This has been my theme this entire time. I can make the unimaginable happen with my exclusively human body.
Okay. So let's put this in a scenario that maybe you meet Rek'sai. Okay. Let's put this in a maybe a scenario. Okay. You're working in a city. You know, you're living your life.
Oh no. You're an architect and it's been your whole life's dream. It's your life's dream and your family's dream to make this city. And there's a big scary monster with thousands of screaming children who will tear it all down.
Yeah, you're an architect.
But you love her.
Joe, take it away. Take it away. You've done it.
Take it away. Okay, listen.
You do it.
You are in. What's it called? What is the city called? Wait, what is the city called?
We're getting lore accurate. Do
you want a city?
It's not Shurima. It's the other one. It doesn't matter.
I think Shurima is the country. I think the city, it might be Ishtal.
No. I just read it.
Piltover?
No.
Fucking absolutely not. Sai Khalik.
Okay.
You're in Sai Khalik. You live your entire life in fear of this great giant monster.
All right, I'm afraid. I'm crying.
Mandibles. You're crying. I'm
pissing. I'm crying.
Some of your relatives have fallen prey into these tunnels, but you need to travel through these tunnels so that you can find work and make your way through a potentially good life. Okay. And then suddenly your entire family's dead.
Whoa. Okay.
And like they are like pulled from underground, and you're like, what do you do? And then you turn around and you see Reba. You see a beautiful. You see a beautiful purple, huge mandibles, huge spider tits and ass, milky.
First of all, she's not a spider.
Whatever. Praying mantis thing. And she screams at you. You can smell the breath of the blood and organs from your family members onto your face. And there's like spittle and her little clicking, clacking noises. And then you look up at her and she's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
She's Reba.
There's a flame that alights in your chest and other places in your body where blood swells. And you just experience life and death for the first time together. And it's beautiful. And you say, never mind architecture, PhD. Never mind engineering. I don't need that. Civil engineering, bridges, bureaucracy. Fuck it. I'm going to be a stepdad.
I'm not going to lie. You lost me. Okay. You had me and then you lost me.
Joe? I'm not gonna lie. I'm thank you for being truthful on the podcast.
Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You're banned from making any scenarios going forward.
Listen, you always do these scenarios. It's always like weird New York shit. And you know what?
And you thought that was better?
Yes.
Because at a certain point, I thought the celebrity Reba was coming out of the ground itself to eat my family.
And her giant praying mantis mandibles.
Reba, the head of Reba comes out with that Reba has mandibles?
Don't look it up. But that's what I think is hot. So I don't know what you were gonna. I don't know what you were gonna conjure up. But I think I think listeners.
You know. Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna come up with a scenario. You come up with a scenario, and listeners, you can vote on Twitter which one you think is the better scenario here.
I think, given the 100% perfect scenario that I just brought up, which is just history, which is just true, we can go on to the scale.
Is Cleric broken?
Mimi is witnessing a stare down between Cleric 34 and I. What's your stupid scenario? Make it snappy.
Okay, I'll make it snappy. You live in a city. I guess you're an architect. Well, keep that part of it there. You're out building a wall to protect your city from monsters. But one day, one of the monsters breaches the thing. It's a giant insect thing. You're like, holy shit. But instead of getting eaten, she accidentally scoops you up and takes you back into her little void hole. You're scared. Maybe you're going to be eaten by all her kids. But instead, she kind of wraps you up in this warmth. And she kind of just like starts screaming at you. And like all the kids kind of like move around you. And you're like, oh, I guess like she wants me to help take care of these children. Because like she can't do it on her own right now. Like she needs help. Okay, let me let me help her out. Let me do this. And so you go in and you start helping her with the kids. She starts screaming. Of course, she's bringing back some food for you, but you start learning her language. And so you start building up to something. You're like, hey, listen, I know you kidnapped me and destroyed the walls of my city that I was building, but honestly, I'm kind of fucking with it here because I'm fucking with you.
And what is the difference between this story and
my family didn't get murdered in that one. My family wasn't dead and Reba didn't show up.
Yeah, the lack of blood and organ breath, I think, makes a difference.
I think y'all are fucking cowards.
Oh
and
my
I think
God,
we
go
should
to the
move
scale.
on.
Go to the scale. Go to the scale.
Sex appeal. 1 out of, not 1 out of 10, 1 through 10, Mimi, are the numbers. Sex appeal, giant purple mandible mouth, screams exclusively, but has responsibility.
So I think Rek'sai, I kind of put like in the same like sex appeal range as like the Xenomorph Queen. So I think that's a solid like 7.
I mean,
that's beautiful. That's fair.
Base
I
level
love that.
Rek'sai, I think, is a cool design. I think is one of the cooler champions to be made. I like her new skins that they've put out for her. I just like her vibe in general. So I'm going to give this a sex appeal. I'm going to give this a 6.5.
I think that they could have gone harder with her design.
Okay.
Despite I do love it. I actually haven't seen her other like skins. There's a pool party Rek'sai. Excuse me. What the fuck does?
Because she goes to the pool.
She's like a shark fin.
Yeah.
So they made her like a little shark. That's really cute.
In the pool party skin, her tunnels are like the pool floaties, like the safety rings.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Black Frost Rek'sai. We're not doing skins. We're doing base skins.
Yeah,
we're not.
This is fun.
Black Frost Rek'sai is a whole other different rating for certain.
Yeah.
But since we are just doing base, we're gonna give her. We'll do like a 7.25.
Okay, that's the first 2.5 that's been on the show. Honestly,
I don't think that's true.
Why do you contradict me at every turn?
Personality.
Her personality is just destroy, eat, baby.
Destroy,
eat, baby.
Yeah.
And
there are commas there. We have to clarify. She's not eating.
Yeah. So there's destroy, eat, baby, and then there's destroy, eat, baby.
Yeah.
So not much to work with there, to be honest. And
I disagree.
A lot of just void screaming.
I will say, like, voice lines are a big part of what informs a champion in League of Legends. Like, a lot of their personality comes through in the voice lines.
Tom Kench.
So, yeah.
Tom Kench. Car.
Joe, you opened the door for that.
I did.
I think I got it. Personality, I got to give Rek'Sai a 4.
Fair. I think that's extremely fair. There's not much.
Something middling does make sense. I, however, think that we are maybe forgetting that she is, despite the fact that she lives off of just a pure sense of like sustenance and like whatever, there's also a sense of like sadism and like mischief and like responsibility that she has to her role.
Mm.
So that makes, despite the fact that it makes her generally kind of like you would think mindless animal, not so. There's a very much of a villainous sort of thing that specifically tore down multiple empires. So I think a 5.5.
That is an interesting take. I do like the sadism angle that you're going for. I kind of get it. She is a bit sadistic in some of her other like I'm bringing up her skin lines just because it also shows off a bit more of her like I think supplements some of her personality. Like in the new primordial one, she's like she enjoys destroying Anima City, which is very fair. Like she's proud of it. She's very much proud of like being the first one to cross over the wall, which I think is indicative to who she is. She's proud to be a destroyer. She's proud to like she's a voidling through and through. I'll be in the middle right here. I'll do a flat 5.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Relationship potential.
Now, Joe, I want to hear your answer for this because there is a right answer.
I don't there's not such thing as a right answer.
But I want to hear you try to bump up the score.
Mimi, you are the expert, so I will just kind of go off of my own delusional, like maladaptive daydreaming, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Okay. I think if you are in most cases where you are like the only other co-parent situation, and you might also be popping out or helping her pop out these babies, you got kind of like a brood mother Omegaverse vibe if you want if you've ever wanted to have like a nesting partner, if you ever wanted to have stability and shelter and food and not have to have like a money forward life, there is something very how is this is this not the most domestic kind of situation? And when they were making all those suburban 50s housewives ads that were like, if you get this vacuum cleaner, you'll bring home a husband for sure. This is what they mean, Rek'sai.
So you're okay. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're both
summarize. Bring it all up together. Yeah.
So you're equating Rek'sai to a 1950s housewife.
Yes.
And that's who Rek'sai is base level.
I'm saying they made those ads for her, as she's the model.
So Rek'sai is going to buy the vacuum that's going to let her land a husband who is you.
But she is the vacuum at the same time. She's a built-in vacuum. Built-in wife, built-in mother.
Where do you want us to go from here?
I want you to rate what you think given off of that score. And I think relationship potential, it's not going to be high, I promise.
Then give us a number.
It's like a 6.5.
That's high, Joe. That's fucking high.
It's just 1.5 in a scale of 10, which is huge, considering.
Okay, Mimi, what you were gonna say? Some stuff. Go. I want to hear what you have to say.
I hear what Joe is saying, and I do think there is a potential. There's a world where if you are determined enough and delusional enough, you could have a relationship with Rek'sai, but I think it's always going to be temporary. Because here's the thing. You got to provide food. You got to bring home the bacon. And eventually there's going to be a day where you just can't bring home enough. Maybe you didn't make it to the grocery store on time. Maybe they cut your hours at work. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to feed everybody. And as soon as that happens, you're dinner. Yeah. So I got to go with a 3. That is true. I got to give it a 3.
That is true.
I would actually, building off that, I would actually say it's a bit of the difference in where she's not the housewife. She's the she's the breadwinner. She's the one going out bringing home the bacon. She's the one who works for Belveth, working for the Void, getting everything she needs. And then she comes back. And you're there just taking care of the kids, making sure the burrow's all nice. And she'd be like, why didn't you do the laundry? And you're like, there's fucking 7,000 children right now. I only got through I got through 500 of it, maybe. And she's like, wow, I provide for this family and you don't? Like, you're saying that you can't do things? You're home all day. And you're just like, I'm home with the kids all day. It's a full-time job.
This is that SpongeBob episode.
I don't know how, Joe, I don't know how you've managed to make Rek'sai a fucking 1950s housewife, but that's kind of, or 1950s businessman, and you're the housewife. That's the personality of Rek'sai.
I think you did that. So,
and for that, I don't think that's a good basis of a relationship if there's not a lot of give and take, and she's just like work, kids, work.
That's fair.
There's no work-life balance there, and so I got to give that. I would echo Mimi. I give that a 3.
That's fair. Thank you so much. And counter chance. I actually, Mimi, don't think I know that. I don't have a very informed answer to this. So the chance of encounter, how accessible she is geographically, time-wise, her own schedule, can she fit you in, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think as long as you are sort of in, she's currently resides in Shurima, which is like a desert country. Think very like Egypt, North Africa themed. I think as long as you are anywhere in the span of that country, she might show up, or if you're even just traveling through, she might just, see that wagon and be like, that's a snack. So yeah, I think pretty easy to encounter, I would say, provided you're willing to be a little flexible.
I mean, everyone should be, I think, a little bit flexible, trying to figure things out. I don't really. I think it's hard to. You gotta go to this one place. You gotta be around. You gotta somehow like stir up the dirt. I don't think it's a high encounter chance. I'm gonna give this a 2. I don't think it's that high. I don't think that's possible.
I mean, there is the geographic limitation. It's a big world. This is like one country in the world, but it's like consider like that's anywhere in the country. You know, how often could you say like, oh, as long as I'm in the same country as you, I will come and see you. So I would honestly, I'd give her a 7.
Okay, fair.
I was gonna say 7 as well.
Shut up, Joe.
If it's just a matter of fucking showing up, which is what all stepdads should do. Step parents, all manner of people who want to step up. I think it's possible. Now the next one is really good. It's just gonna tank from here. The next scale, the rating that we have is death risk.
So,
lower, the more dangerous. The higher, the less dangerous.
So, Joe, what do you think the city-destroying, giant, eating thousands of baby having monster? How do you think you could live that? What are the chances that you base level live?
I think I just out of sheer enthusiasm will have better chances than perhaps you. I think Mimi probably above the both of us, just survivability wise. One wrong move and you're dead. And that's just the price of love sometimes, you know. But death is a neutral concept, and if it happens, and it will happen regardless. This is a 1.
Okay, that's
good. And it hurts me to say that about the woman that I love. But you know, sometimes people go back to exes.
And she's your ex?
And I would never do that to her. I would just die.
Oh, you would die rather than leave.
Yes.
Okay.
Choices. Mimi, what are you thinking?
It's probably a 1. I'm trying to think of a scenario where you live, but also something we haven't mentioned is Rek'sai does have like echolocation. She's got like a tremor sense. So like you can't even really leave. She'll notice you leaving. And this is getting into sort of in-game abilities a little bit. She has the ability to just like basically leap to anyone who she has like scent marked essentially. So like you can be running and she will be there. So like I can't even really think of a scenario where you like sneak away from her. So yeah, it's a 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo a 1. So that's 3 1s across the board.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes love is love. And most of the time, love does not win. So I understand.
I don't think you're using that right. Huh? I don't think you're using it right.
Huh? What? Anyway, why don't we get into the
All right. Well, now that we have the scores, we're gonna do a quick pause to do like a quick game of League.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if we do an ARAM, we'll be done in 20 minutes. We can
20-minute ARAM. I can't believe we lost that game. Joe, you have to get better at just kiting.
I've never played before. I've literally never played before. And I was screaming how this was nothing like Cookie Run the entire time, and no one helped me.
I mean, you do just kind of have to get good. Like,
yeah,
I've been telling Cleric for months. Yeah. Like, you just got to get good.
You just got to get good.
And I am just okay.
Which is not enough, to be clear.
On League terms, it's really not. Just being okay at this game is not good. Anyways, Joe, what's the scores? You've had time to process them.
Yeah, at the same time I was calculating the numbers via Abacus, I was also playing ARAM, so I don't know what y'all were expecting from me. Anyway, Cleric, for Rek'sai, you gave her a very generous thank you so much, 3.6.
Okay.
Which, if her being better than a certain number of people, that's completely fine. What is not okay is that she is 0.3 above Starscream to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, below rather. I got a 5.5 for Rek'sai and Mimi with a 4.3, which gives Rek'sai a solid 4.5, which gives her the same average as Grimlock. And I think that makes sense.
It doesn't, but okay.
Okay.
Doesn't really make sense here, but you know, whatever. Anyway, that's the Ravenous Rek'sai. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done that an alliteration.
You haven't done a fucking alliteration because you're fucking stupid. Anyway, Going on to our
Hey,
guest choice.
Joe, can we have a quick
No.
Joe, can we have a quick sidebar? Can we have just a quick sidebar?
We'll be what? Okay, what?
I didn't like when you said that to me.
I'm stopping the recording. We'll be moving on to Mimi's choice here. Mimi, if you want to intro us in.
Yeah, so I chose a champion who I feel like has a lot of broad appeal, but maybe I think people maybe like don't fully evaluate them the way they deserve. I'm technically breaking my own rule with this one because when I put together the short list, I did say no furry bait, but again, I think there's more to evaluate with this one, so I'm going to be doing the Kindred.
Ooh.
Everyone dies eventually. Perhaps you can take some comfort in knowing that when you die, the Kindred will be there waiting for you. For those who greet death with acceptance, the gentle lamb, nimble and lithe, will lay you down swiftly with a single gleaming arrow. But if you dare to flee, then the vicious wolf is only too eager to hunt you to the ends of the world. One way or another, you will face Kindred.
Kindred.
Excuse you. What is happening?
I don't know that song.
I just like Kindred. I love Kindred's vibe. I can't jungle to save my life, but I've been wanting to play Kindred for the longest time.
Kindred is a fantastic champion. So Kindred is the embodiment of death. They are death. And I say they because there are two aspects of Kindred. They are a package deal. There's the lamb and the wolf. So the lamb is, like I said, is like this hunter who basically, she's an archer who sees you in your moment before death and offers you just a painless end. And if you accept it, she will lay you down with an arrow. If you see your death coming and are like, no, I don't fuck with this, I want to live, then the wolf is like, cool, let's run. It's he is the like primal visceral death, and he is like, I will find you eventually. Run as far as you want. I'm gonna come for you. And so like that's why even though like the lamb is kind of furry bait, she is just like the hot, like she looks like a fucking Lopunny.
So
but
there's no disadvantages is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but they are a package deal. This is like you are entering into a polythrouple situation.
Okay. I thought this was more of like you're dating this like hot non-binary person who has just this giant dog.
No,
it's kind of like that, but the dog will have conversations with you. Like the dog is a thinking, speaking person.
Oh, so this is Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
No.
It's similar. Like if you want to date Shaggy, Scooby is a part of this relationship.
Yeah, it's a package deal.
He's a part of this relationship.
Joe, what are you feeling? You got a lot of no's. You got a lot of.
I'm still like, are we not fucking the wolf too? Like, is that not part?
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. They are a package deal.
We're not fucking Scooby-Doo.
It's not Scooby-Doo, but it is like a ghostly spectral wolf.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm imagining, just we'll cut that other part. We'll go back to the scenario right here. For the first one.
Okay.
So what I see is you're at a bar, you're chilling, got a little drink, dip it in, maybe it's a martini. You got a little glass. You have little olives on there. I don't know if you like olives. I don't like olives, but you have a martini.
We're getting too caught up with that. Maybe instead of olives, you'll have onion.
Maybe you'll have an onion. Maybe, I don't know. You'll have something. But you have a little thing in your martini. You're sitting there, you're alone, like a loser, reading a little book. And then these two people, you feel them like come around your side. And you're just like, one person is going to just like very gently just like, hey, me and my partner saw you across the bar. We thought you were super interesting and like you seem really cute. And they're like, oh, thanks. And you turn to look at the other person, and this person seems like is wearing like an all white gown, all white dress, and it's just like it's like it's very gentle, and you want to like just like lay your head in this person's lap, and then you turn around, you're like, oh, you both saw me, and then you turn around,
Convicted felon.
tattoos out the fucking wazoo, like fucking beefed up, and kind of like takes your martini, the olives in your martini. There was a reason I brought it up, and kind of just like sucks them all down in one go, and it's kind of just like, and then like breaks the toothpick with their like tongue, and you're just like, oh, okay, and they're like, well.
The lamb having this type of partner also conveys a lot about them too.
Yeah.
It's like
It does.
Yeah. And so they're like, hey, do you want to come back to our place? And then you're just like, okay. And then you have this fucking wild threesome with this big, like, definitely like stone top fucking wolf. And this super gentle, like when you're like getting like, this is too much, you suddenly get wrapped in like a warmth from the lamb and being like, hey, listen, it's okay. Now you can take charge. I love you, blah, blah, blah. Like heals you back in, and you're in this dynamic of like being passed around by these two people.
no, literally passed around.
Yeah. No, this is a very kinky DS relationship you're entering into. Like the lamb is 100% like gentle femdom, and the wolf is like, I don't know if you're aware of this particular like fantasy that's been going around Tumblr of like the predator prey thing, where it's like, I want to be like running from you in the woods and I want you to chase me down. That's wolf. Like, it's like I'm doing this for like your enrichment, basically. I'm making you work for it, but then when you get it, it whatever you say goes.
Yeah.
But also in this dynamic, lamb does like have wolf on a leash and is like, I'm going to let him go when you're like I'm going to let go of the leash and then you're going to run.
Yeah. And then when it gets too much, you're like, oh, I may be getting overwhelmed. The lamb immediately comes and is like, no, okay, we're done. They need a break.
A lot of restraint.
Yeah.
That's practiced, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic. Something we're not really talking about here is a spirit of death.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Yeah. An ephemeral spirit of death, which is kind of just like all around, which, you know, you have to be a little bit dying to get to that point. So maybe, you know, you're about to. Or
it's like the night of your death, like that. It either it's accidental or you're meant to get killed by them specifically or something. Hey, at least you get to have like a nice little kinky moment with them before you die.
A last hurrah before you just pass away from a heart attack.
They are sending you out with a bang.
Okay. That's fair. Again, spirit of death. And if we're going by their base forms, like they don't shapeshift in anything, I do imagine that the wolf gives wicked head.
That's true.
That's just a spectral. All it can do is mouth play and just like.
Like that is fully a tongue the size of your forearm. Like
yeah.
That
is going in your prostate.
And didn't you had a problem with Rek'sai having a long tongue? Huh?
My main problem was her destroying cities.
I think your main problem is her having a long tongue.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
so, anyway.
Yeah, that was my main problem. I'm a fucking hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we have been bringing up a lot of hilarious scenarios, Mimi. So is there anything that you also want to bring up before we jump into the scale?
Yeah, any lore things you want to talk about?
I think the only lore thing I will mention is that, like, because Kindred is like, you know, the Grim Reaper, effectively, like they are universal. Different cultures have different relationships with Kindred. Like in certain countries, they're not depicted as like a lamb and wolf. They're depicted as like a bird and a fish or some other thing.
Oh, interesting.
So there are like different versions of the Kindred depending on where you go. And there are like different sort of cultural relationships where some people are like, the noble thing to do is to just like lie down and let the lamb take you. And there are some cultures where it's like, no, hold on. Wolf deserves to have some fun. Let's make it exciting for Wolf. Let's really make him work for it. So I think like the fact that there are all these different ways to like relate to them really speaks to their flexibility.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Okay. All right. So there you can changed by a culture. They want you to just be adapt to everything like that. Okay, I'm with it. And they'll comfort you. It's like, hey, do you want to get hunted? Do you want the predator like aspect of this? And you're like, you know what? Yeah. Like, we could change it up days instead of just like having a whole fuck fest. You know, I do want to get chased. I do want to have the thrill of the hunt.
It'll be better for the wolf if you let them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Get sucked off by the wolf. Okay.
Okay. So that all being said, our first, going back to the beginning of the scale, sex appeal for Kindred.
Sex appeal is like iffy for me, to be honest. I think they're one of the cooler designed champions, and I love them to death. I don't know how sexy I find them. I do love masks. I do love vibes.
I was going to say.
I'll give this an 8.
That's still high, so hey.
Yeah. I was going to rank it higher. It's a cool design, but I think the two aspects of it just makes it kind of difficult to make it super sexy. But yeah, I'll give this an 8.
I know I shouldn't be looking at the other skins, but it's interesting that the lamb gets more like humanoid and like different aspects as well.
Which, to be honest, I don't like very much. I don't like that when they do the skin lines, they're just like, let's just make this like creepy ethereal death spirit into a pretty woman. Like,
yeah, totally.
I like Spirit Blossom. Spirit Blossom seems cool.
It's good. That one's really cute. I feel like I might like it pretty much on the same scale as Rek'sai. I feel like their designs are succinct. Like they kind of carry out visually what you want to see from them. So I feel like it will be higher than Rek'sai. It'll be like a 7.5.
Okay. Fair.
Now, see, I love the confidence of a woman with like big dog privilege. Even more so when the big dog is her boyfriend.
Yes.
So I give Kindred a 9.
Totally understandable.
Okay, I'm with it.
Personality. And we're considering the personality of 2 figures here. So kind of like averaging of the average.
If we're going by our made-up scenario of her or of them, where they are this like polycule fucking hunted type thing, but also I think it's a very high. And even if we don't include that, their base personality is just like, one of us, we want to gently bring you to death, and if you want to fight for it, sure, fight the wolf. If you want to go gently, I'll help you out. Like, we just want you to embrace death. Shout out Tryndamere for not doing that, bitch. Fuck you, Tryndamere. Fuck you if you play Tryndamere, you fucking suck.
Yeah, Tryndamere meets this hot couple at the bar and gets scared and leaves.
Yeah. And they were just like, dog, what the fuck? He's like, oh, you'll never catch me. Strictly monogamy with Ash.
Oh my god.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ash does have several bitches on the side, just like...
Chijwani.
So personality, I give... Personally, I give them an 8 on personality. There is a voice line that they have that... and I don't know if Kess wants or can like splice in the voice line here, but it's when Wolf says... Tell me again, little lamb, which things are mine to take? And Lamb goes, all things, dear wolf.
Tell me again, little lamb, which things are mine to take?
All things, dear wolf.
Like,
that's sex.
Yeah. It's like, hey, asking for permission is sexy. And being like, hey, what's for me? It's like, whatever the fuck you want.
That's hot. That's hot.
Exactly.
I'll give that a 9. Fuck it.
The thing is when there are like kind of spirits of that are the essence of like a core thing that everyone experiences, like death, those personalities, the kind of frustrating thing about spirits is that their personalities kind of like middle or mellow to the point that their role is like their personality, which is like fine. But like that can get very frustrating when there's not like a lot of, obviously their job is not to be flexible. They are death. But the way that they carry themselves and like the relationship with each other and how it works for them, even if there are instances where they may or may not agree on certain things, it seems like they agree for the most part because they both represent the same thing. There's a lot to take into consideration. I feel like 8 definitely makes sense though. Okay. Relationship potential. As two people as these characters who are in fully a relationship with each other, what are we thinking for their potential?
I think they have like you said, they have a relationship very much linked to each other. And I think it's hard to be a third person. It's hard, to be the third. It's
Claire
hard.
Kate's polyamory.
It's just, I think with this specific, this isn't like a polyamory. This is like a couple and you're the unicorn. Like this is like a couple who is like clearly these two are together and you're the add-on that's like randomly there. Or not randomly, but you're like, it's like, oh, it's Adam and Steve and then Eve.
That's a weird
That was
metaphor,
weird. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm losing it, everyone. The Dayquil's hitting.
Okay.
Dayquil, specifically the one that does not make you drowsy, that you can take to go to work. Okay.
It's all hitting all at once. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days.
But I think you should eat some. Do you want soup? Should we get you soup?
Got apple juice.
Okay.
That's not soup.
Anyways,
I think you are right about it being like, this is a unicorn hunter situation. Like they will take you out for a good time, but they're never going to view you as an equal.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like dating immortals. Like they're always going to be like, we have been alive for so long. We've experienced so much. Like we can't ever like view you as an equal partner. So for that reason, relationships, I give it like a 4.
That's good. That's good enough for me, personally.
That's good enough. That's good for me.
I feel like that's also an 8.
For you?
For me. They laid down everything on the line that they're asking for. I don't need to be a primary. Like, I don't need to be the third. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a necessity for me necessarily. Like, if they respect you and what the like kind of relationship hierarchy, whether or not you prescribe to that or not, sometimes that exists for certain couples, and especially in this instance, that works out for me. I don't know.
All right, I'll put it right in the even of the middle here of 5. I think there's a way to work around it. If you're well aware of the boundaries of everything, you're well aware. You're not trying to get any deeper than that. Than just like, hey, I'm just trying to fuck. And I'm trying to fuck 2 hot people. I think that's fair. If you're trying to expect something deeper with these 2, no.
The next is encounter chance. They are death.
They are death. You will meet them at their deathbed. And when you are close to death. So the argument here is that everyone is always close to death. Or everyone will experience death. None of us are immortal, except for Tryndamere. Fuck you. Or any of the Yordles. Fuck you, Yordles.
No, I don't think Yordles are immortal. I think they die eventually.
They do?
I don't know what the new
They live
lore
for a long
is.
time, right?
The new lore is like they've changed what Yordles are so many times, but
I think that because everyone experiences death, you will encounter them at one point at least once. So if we're going off just our rules of like when you can encounter them, I think it's pretty high. I'll give this an 8. You do have to be on your deathbed, which is going to lower the score of the next one.
It's like guaranteed though. You know what I mean?
It's a guaranteed meeting, so I'll give this a 9.
It's a 100% chance that you meet them one time. And so like I think if encounterability, if we care about like, it being like an ongoing thing, it's also a thing that's totally out of your control. Like you can't control when you're going to meet them. So like I think 8 or 9 is fair. I'm going to go 8.5.
I do see, for the reasons that we have said, though, that it could be middling scores because of like not being able to find them. But like, it is very much their whole thing. Spirits and the like kind of loosely undead get tricky in that way for sure. I'll go easy median because I'm indecisive with an 8.
Okay, fair. So
the next score, death risk.
They do kill you. Like that's
that's
kind
you
of
have
thing.
to again be on your deathbed.
Even more of a guaranteed than Rek'sai.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. They do kill you. You don't escape from death unless you're Tryndamere.
I have to look up what this guy looks like at this point.
He sucks. He looks like a fucking
Tryndamere
Warcraft character.
He does. We're just shitting on Tryndamere.
That's a Warcraft character.
He sucks. I hate Tryndamere. He's so boring. A lot of the Freljord characters are boring.
Yeah.
That aren't.
There
like,
are. Tryndamere is one of those champions who like has skins that make him slightly more interesting, but is just his base character design is just so flat. He is like he is one of the first champions they put into the game before they started like caring if they were interesting.
He's just a boring white man.
Yeah, he is. He's just a pasty Nordic bearded man.
Yeah,
anyway, it's a 1 for Kindred. It's a 1.
It's for sure a 1.
You do die.
It has to
It's
be.
for sure a 1. I don't think there's any death. I don't think there's any death risk in this game, right? Or in this episode, right? It's got to be higher than a 1. I'll be very honest. Even my champion, it's not.
That'll be interesting. That will definitely be interesting. We have the numbers. Why don't we go take a break?
Let's play another game of ARAM, okay?
God damn it.
Let's go.
And Joe, you really got to step it up this time. You got to step up this time.
We're going to completely rely on you.
Okay, well, what?
All right, let's get it.
A careless step.
Them teeth.
Okay, Joe, so I don't know how you did it, but you destroyed our tower.
I don't know who I am.
So
it's not hard. You have your name above your head. It's you.
Yeah. You helped the other team break our tower down.
This is like when you accidentally score on your own soccer goal.
You did. You got an own goal, which
Yeah.
I didn't even think was a thing that was possible to do in League of Legends.
Yeah, I don't think they even programmed that shit in. But anyways, Joe, what do you got for scores?
Okay, so on the Abacus, we have calculated Cleric, Kindred, a 6.4.
Nice.
Me, a 6.5. Mimi, a 6.1. However, that does give Kindred a 6.5 altogether. That score likens itself to, it is 0.4 below Hot Rod.
Okay.
And a whole point above Ghidorah, the frog alien.
The frog. I forgot we did Ghidorah.
All right, so Kindred is in between Frog and Hot Rod.
Yes.
I don't know how I
the
feel
Transformer.
about that. Can I change some scores? Can I doctor some numbers?
No.
It's too late now. It's been officially. We only ever change scores randomly.
Fair enough.
That's so true. We'll be in another episode. We'll be like, you know what? I think we made bad points about this person. Let's give it up 2. Let's raise it up 2 scores. We're thinking of doing an episode where we go back and we re-rank them. Odds of us doing that? 50-50.
Just like speedrun rapid fire?
Yeah, just going through our scores. We'll get like a whole bunch of ones we think are unfair and rediscuss them.
In another life.
We'll do it eventually.
Cleric, what shitty, stupid, goddamn little stupid choice did you fucking pick?
What the fuck energy?
Huh?
I picked, okay, I'm going to move on from there. I picked one of my favorite champions to play at the moment. I am stuck in top lane due to the people I play with. And so I've had to get good at champions that I shouldn't be good at. And there's one champion that I like. He's really cool. He's got a new skin. I fuck with him heavy. And it is the atrocious Aatrox. Once an honored defender of Shrima against the Void, Aatrox was corrupted and turned against the people he was supposed to protect. He became a vicious warrior that darkened the skies and laid waste to thousands. Only by banding together were the people of Runeterra able to defeat him, sealing him away in his mighty sword. But Aatrox was not easily bested, waiting to corrupt any who touch his blade. He got big sword, he's swinging down, his voice is sexy.
He looks huge.
He's fucking humongous.
Yeah, he's a good like 10 feet tall.
He's a big boy. He's bigger
than Rek'sai.
He is bigger than Rek'sai. He is.
Well, so here's the thing. His in-game model is bigger than Rek'sai's, but the in-game models don't match like the lore. Because Rek'sai is like building size. Rek'sai is like house sized. Aatrox is just a large man.
Yeah, he's in animatics. He's been like 10 feet tall. Where he's like a lot taller than Kale. I think it's the newest animatic that he like Kale and Morgana fight him.
Yeah.
But Aatrox, not a good dude. We'll make it very much clear to everyone here. Aatrox is the villain.
He's a villain.
He is so he was, I think was he the same race as Kale and Morgana?
So no. No. Sorry, there's been enough lore retcons I had to think about it. But Aatrox is a Darken They were like ascended Shirimans who like go through a special ritual to become like super powered mystical beings. Like the other ascended are Azir, who is like the bird head man, Nasus, who is literally just Anubis, and Renekton, who is literally just Set.
Shout out.
But basically, they were, like you said, corrupted, and then in order to defeat them, they had to be sealed inside of their weapons. So Aatrox actually, he swings a big sword, and also he is the big sword.
Which is hot. And
Yeah.
he's like, he just wants to bring around the death of the world. He just wants to fight. He just wants to beat the shit out of everyone. He's, I think one of his voice lines, which Kez, you can find it. He's like, I am not I'm not a enemy. I am the enemy.
I am not your enemy. I am the enemy.
And he says it in this like sexy, gravelly voice.
His voice is very gravelly.
It's very gravelly. I like it a lot.
It's got there's like a little bit of reverb on it.
Yeah. So the reason Aatrox, while he is a bad dude, he takes over their host and then goes on a war rampage, murdering everyone who is around. There's a reason I think it works, because usually it wouldn't, you know? But there's other examples of Darkin who have bonded with their hosts, and they've have a little relationship, and they're gay, and that's Varys. So Varys are two gay men sealed inside a blade, or sealed inside a bow, who now have a host, and they're just gay together in the host. So I think if you are willing, which Joe, you are, I know you are, you're a sick little freak.
Oh my God.
If you're willing to let Aatrox like do his thing, be like, hey, I'm with you, let's destroy the world together, you can have a little gay relationship with that man in the sword.
You can have gay sex constantly and not have an actual body.
Exactly.
That is actually a really good point, is like different Darkin weapons have different relationships with their wielders. And like, so Varys is like two people inside of Varys whose love for each other like keeps them like sane and keeps them like aware. So they can like sort of hold Varys back from like fully destroying the world. Cain is his scythe is a Darkin named Rost, and they are like constantly fighting for control of the body, which is like very homoerotic.
Hot.
Yeah.
And like they have like a lot of banter back and forth as they're like wresting control from each other. Wow, that was hard to say.
You'll have it. You're good.
So it is a little bit telling that whoever picked up the sword was just fully subsumed by Aatrox. Whoever they were before, there's none of them left. So it's either like their force of will was not strong enough, or Aatrox was just like his hatred was too powerful, which I think is interesting. Could be both.
I am looking at this as like a Greed from Full Metal Alchemist situation where
Bitch.
Don't call me a bitch.
I was reacting to the grade.
Don't call me a bitch like that.
Okay.
You keep hurting my feelings this episode, and I don't appreciate it. You doing it in front of Mimi like this.
Oh, you
It's
sound
okay.
like a bitch.
I won't think any less of you, Cleric.
All right. Anyways, yeah. So I think if I pick up Aatrox sword, I would be good. We can be like have a homoerotic relationship together.
Do you think your
Yeah.
flimsy little body will do anything in combat?
Well, he corrupts my body.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Like
it's just that you think that you're gay enough that you would be able to withstand the corruption, and you know.
I think my force of the force of will to suck dick will transcend his hatred for all of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you can quote me on
Interesting.
that.
You know how friendship and love win, but they don't? So does hate.
Hate is a great motivator, but you know what else is a great motivator?
What?
Giving that good gooseneck.
So you're saying Aatrox? Hey, maybe Aatrox would be less angry if he got his dick sucked. Have we considered that?
I don't know. Gamers, get on it.
Let's try it. Let's see.
Riot,
Cleric, you can test it out first.
I'm writing to Riot right now, sending him an email. Can we get League of Legends sex simulator so I can see if I can uncorrupt Aatrox by giving him good head.
Dear Riot Games Korea, can I see Aatrox in a stock strap, please?
He has a skin like that. He has some sexy skins.
Okay. Well, did you have a little stupid little scenario for us, or do we want to get into numbers?
I think the scenario is you're going around, you find a big old sword, you try to pick it up, you end up getting super corrupted by it, and that voice is just like, I want you to kill off humanity. It's like, listen, I'll kill off humanity if you give me a little kiss. He's kind of like, whoa, is that it? It's like, yeah, we can kill off humanity if you give me a little kiss. He's like, oh, okay. Mwah. It's like, did you like that? He's like, I kind of did. He's like, all right, why don't we just like kiss occasionally while you destroy humanity? And it's just like, okay, nice. And there it is. There's a scenario.
Okay, wow.
All right.
Do you have one better?
Sex appeal. No, I don't care. Sex appeal.
That's what I thought. Aatrox is
This
hot.
is sexy. This is a
Aatrox is
sexy
hot.
guy, yeah. Is he sexier than Rek'sai or Kindred, however?
I think so. He's got abs on abs. All of his skins like fucking have him rippling
Fucked up.
muscles. Oh, it is hot. Man's is hot. I'll give this a 9.
Unfortunately, my dyke bias, I don't think I can give him more than like a 5.5. Like objectively, I get it. I see it. It does nothing for me.
Kick me in from the call. Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Wow.
that.
Against lesbians, MFA?
Yes. Anyway, no, that's very fair.
I don't know. It's a guy, which is like fine. It's one thing if the design could be more monstrous, but it's another thing if the design is like a lot of people will fall into the evil man trap. You know what I mean? Like no matter what his transgressions, stances on eugenics and things like that, like he's baby girl, which I don't love. He is hot though.
He is very hot.
I'll give him a 6.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take
Personality.
I'll take 6. He is really obsessed with murdering the world.
He's the Antichrist.
A little bit. A little bit. Just a little tiny bit. He does want to end all of life, which could be very obsessive. He's very obsessed about a single goal.
Does he have any like gap moe? Like, is there any like cute lines that he has that maybe indicates care or like, not that I really need those, but like, is there anything like more complicated about him?
No.
Here's the thing. He is like, this might be an older version of his lore. This might be a previous version, but he does like people who like match his energy. So like when it's another like angry, violent man, he's like, all right, I see you. I like it.
Right.
I don't know. That's not really gap. That's just like, but it is like,
he has an appreciation.
Yeah. He has an appreciation for strong men.
Strong men.
Yeah. He likes strong men. He likes fighting. He likes the,
I'm not going to fight a woman.
No, he fights women. He fights Riven all the time. He's like, with a broken blade, bitch, fuck you.
Yeah, he will fight. He will fight women. He's very like ancient Greek. Like you're gay because it's like you're gay because you like men. I'm gay because I hate women.
Yes,
that's pretty fair.
But he likes the strong men.
Yeah, he has a lot of lines where it's like, let's have a glorious combat. He hates Teemo, which I hate Teemo, so it works out.
That's so sad. I mean, that's hilarious. But do you know what I wish that League of Legends had? You know how like old, like not old, but like in some manga they'll have like, here are this character's likes and dislikes. I really wish that he had like a strong stance on like strawberry shortcake or something. That would be really funny.
Loves murder, loves destruction, loves loves complete utter decimation of people. Strawberry shortcake. Marshmallows.
An iced Americano on a hot summer day. Like something like that. What kind of coffee would Aatrox have?
You drink it black, like an edgelord.
He drinks a black
just like boiling hot.
Yeah, he drinks a black coffee that's been boiling, but when no one's around, he gets one of those cafe cutie ones where there's little designs on it on the latte. And he's like, this is great. This is the only thing that'll survive.
I like this. Personality that is a made up one where he likes strawberry shortcake. If he liked strawberry shortcake, it'd be like a fucking more than it needs to be. But it's funny because Rek'sai doesn't have too much personality. She has like things that she's thinking about. For me, this is my middling score. Like, it's just like, it's fine. Like, I'll probably give him like a 5.5. 5.
I think I'm not a big fan of his personality. I do like his vibe. I do like his things. I'll give this a 6, just base level 6.
I think I give this the same score I gave Rek'sai. I think I also give him a 4 for personality because he does talk, but it's like he always says the same thing. He's always like, war, conquest, battle. It's like, okay, I get it. Like at a certain point, it does kind of sound like Void screaming.
Yeah, at a certain point, just like, all right, do you like to paint? I like to paint like blood of my enemies all over the wall. Okay, do you want to go to a museum? Does the museum have blood in it? Aatrox, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you going to go to like a battle museum? It's like, I would actually love that. Well, can we battle in the museum? No, that's not what I meant, Aatrox. Let's just fuck, I guess.
Okay. A relationship potential. I mean, the sword, the stuff, the corruption. He has longevity in mind.
Yeah, you are readily linked to the sword, and if you take it the Varys way, where again, 2 gay men linking up,
2 gay men,
keeping all that shit together, I think that's pretty good. I say, it's high. I say there's a chance for you to build something there. You know, as gay people do. I'm going to give this a 9.
I think, like we established with Kane, it can be one gay man as long as you're enough of an asshole.
Yeah. As long as you suck enough.
Like, I think I don't remember their names, but I think the couple who became Varys are very, like, wholesome and loving, and that's why it takes 2 of them. And Kane is, like, a piece of shit, and that's why he just can hold on by himself.
And I could be that level.
Yeah, I think this will be a lifelong relationship. It's very questionable how healthy it would be. There's going to be a lot of conflict. There's going to be a lot of like fighting for control. So I think I give it a 6.
Fair.
Yeah, I think 6 makes a lot of sense. Like, I think the longevity, like it is the security, stability of it is there, but the like happiness and emotionality and like, you know, that kind of thing, whole other story.
Yeah.
The next score I don't have. This is very uninformed on my end, but encounter chance.
Battlefield to battlefield. Smashing shit up. So unless you're chilling on a battlefield, I don't think you're going to do that. He is a conqueror, so he could just come to your city and be like, what's up? Time is now. Or if
this is mine now.
If somebody finally beats his ass and you take his sword, there's it is. King Arthur situation. I'll give this a 3. I don't think it's hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard.
Yeah, I think 3. I think 3 is about right.
That sounds good to me.
That's pretty good. So 3s across the board. Death risk.
And like you said last round, this might be a death risk 1 all around situation. But maybe I want to know if you have any other thoughts about that.
So here's the thing about Aatrox. He is, you know, sort of the embodiment of rage and destruction. He does also get his ass beat a lot. Like, canonically, he does get his ass beat. He's not a very good embodiment of rage and conquest. So, like, I think as long as you have, like, a tough friend hang out with you, like you go to the bar with your tough friend who will like put an arm up if any guys get close to you, I think you're fine. So I think death risk, I'm gonna put this one at like a 4.
4.
Okay. 4 is pretty fair. I will, you know what? I think you've convinced me. I'll echo a 4.
How do I tank this score?
You are a bitch for doing that.
I mean, if he gets his ass beat, he's not like as guaranteed as like Rek'sai and Kindred. He's just like a little bitch boy thing that Cleric would like. Cleric's bitch taste boy.
He's just an angry, violent man.
What the fuck is the energy?
You know? Yeah. Maybe him being a little 4-point bitch is enough to get me through the inevitable lose that Rek'sai will have in this episode. But yeah, sure. We'll go 4.
Okay. So with that, Joe, that only means one more thing. One last ARAM game.
Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Maybe Swarm would be more Joe's speed.
Yeah, we can play a quick Swarm game.
Yeah.
Easy, nice, no problems. We'll do a quick Swarm, quick, PvE, and I think you'll have a little bit of fun. You ready?
Okay.
All right. We're going to play a quick game. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Break and fall.
Joe, I don't know how you did it, but you, again, partnered with all the enemies and managed to get us killed.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to be happy.
All right, then. Reasonable, I guess. Joe,
Honestly,
what are the scores?
I think that does make Joe a true League of Legends player. Playing playing badly to make your opponents feel bad is the spirit of League of Legends.
I'm gonna throw.
Actually, that is you are a League of Legends player. You have it in you. You have it in you.
I said at the very beginning, it's inherent to our culture, being Korean. Okay.
Okay. Our culture, our Korean culture.
No, Mimi and I's
Joe,
culture.
Me and Joe.
You back the fuck off.
Well, all right,
okay?
just read the scores. Read the scores. Read the scores.
Okay. The scores are for Aatrox, Cleric, a 6.2, me, a 4.8, and then Mimi, a 4.5, which gives Aatrox a 5.2.
Let's fucking go. Let's go.
Which is, again, lower than Girero, the frog alien sergeant.
I mean, he's a sexy frog.
Thank you. If you think about it, Girero and Aatrox are pretty similar looking.
They're
Do you know what Girero looks like, Mimi?
How do you even spell that? That's so many consonants.
I got you.
Our score sheet is so terrible. It's so bad. Because if you look at it objectively, it's how things are ranked close together.
This little Sanrio looking thing?
Yeah.
That is Corporal Girero to you.
And he is...
What is this even from?
Sarge, what is it? Lieutenant Frog?
Lieutenant Frog, the anime. That thing has ranked higher than 40 other creatures.
I need to listen to that episode. I need to know what happened.
That was our aliens episode. It's, again, makes no sense. Our scale is only for fun, and that's why you all listen. So, Joe, read it back to us, our winners and losers for this episode. Let's start with our winner.
Okay, we'll start with our winner, Kindred. It is a guest win this episode.
Let's go, guest win.
Guest win.
Thank you,
Kindred.
thank you.
Mimi, first place with a 6.5. Our middling score, our mid this episode is Aatrox, just like Cleric, at a 5.2.
Oh, okay.
And for me, a very
bottom of
controversial
the barrel, loser, dummy wummy.
And this is how we warm up for the episodes every week that we record. Cleric just makes me repeat after him every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So think about that when I lose next time. Rek'sai is our loser, unfortunately, at a 4.5. Sorry, Alex.
Alex is actually, I literally sent Alex a message while we were doing this about the score, and he is upset. He is genuinely upset.
All right. So for the record, Alex does think Rek'sai is more fuckable than a 4.5. That's what we've established.
Yeah.
But now we have our roles. So I'm going to go top. Cleric's going to go mid. Joe, you're going to go bot. And we're going to get into Summoner's Rift.
All right. Let's get it. Let's Summoner Rift it up.
Oh, Jesus. I have to learn another thing.
Yeah, you do. So, Mimi, before we dive into the Rift, and you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I would love to plug my God Killer show on the Urban Omens Network. It's Peace and Death is a 6-part God Killer miniseries. I've also got a Pathfinder show coming out with Josephine soon. Josephine, you can do that plug later when it's a little bit closer to public. But yeah, I will be continuing to hopefully record more shows and do more TTRPG content. If you want to see games that I make, I have an itch.io. It's alessiakills.itch.io. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for acknowledging that I have the best taste.
That's a take, but Joe, any last thoughts? Any last plugs?
Thanks so much for Mimi for literally creating us a list to choose from, because there are 7,100 and 400 fucking bitches to choose from. We really fucking appreciate it. And if I start playing League, no one say anything.
I'll say a lot of things.
Okay.
All right, if that's the case, let's dive into the rift. Everybody, bye.
Thank you for listening. Your hosts have been Cleric and Josephine, who you can find as Cleric34 and Scary Dog Friend. Today's guest was Michelle Jones, who you can find online under the name as Michelle Jones. Editing was done by Kestrel, who you can find as Holocompass. Our marketing strategist is Gwen, who you can find as Glitchy Pixie. And the character designs you see were done by Ribby, who you can find as Art by Ribby. Our intro and outro song is Fiction/Reality by the band Hypno Sister. Thank you to Soren for permission to use the song. Our Ko-fi members are Amelia G, Gwendolyn, Christian J, Bunhans on Feder 89, Antonio Nichols, Andrew Cluck, and Kenny Gallus. Thank you all so much for your support. You can follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with us. That's at Monster Lover Pod. And if you'd like to support the show, you can rate us on Spotify, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, or get a friend to listen. And listen to us unravel as time slips through our fingers. Our next episode is coming out in 2 weeks, and it's all about psychics. And in my mind's eye, I can already see you there. Well, until next time.
Fiction or reality? How do you see me? Please don't forget me by my name, even if it's all a game. Your words will remain when you said that I was your ambition. I don't know reality or fiction, no. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no.
I'm gonna be honest.
You're sick.
My hearing is not the best, so I fully thought you were the tentacle analyst.
No, Cleric can't speak very well.
I cannot.